boosting and saying, good on ya! It's all in the game. All in the game. It's all in the game. All in the game. It's all in the name of football. Football. Centrals. Cahnnel. Norwood. North. South. Step. Torrance.
Good evening and welcome to Seven Sports Big Replay. I'm sitting high in the stand at the moment at Football Park, and what a magnificent sight it is. A very, very big crowd in attendance for the second semi-final. The clash between two of the traditional rivals in South Australia, Port Adelaide, minor premier, Norwood, who defeated Sturt in a thrilling game last Sunday in the qualifying final to earn the right to play Port Adelaide in this second semi-final. The Magpies have made 4 changes to their side that have beaten the Bays down here a fortnight ago. One of the players coming in, their captain Brian Cunningham. Norwood had brought back Philip Gallagher, who hadn't played a league game for many months. We picked the game up at the beginning. Norwood had won the toss, they kicked to the lake end, and with me high in the stand commentating is Robert Odie. Start of the second semi-final, Norwood against Port, Ferring against Johnston, Norwood kicking to the lake end. Maybe Johnston, Turnbull, caught, high tackle, free kick.
That's a good handball, Bruce. Found its mark to Andrew H on the wing. A little unfortunate in some respects. He got the free, but Turnbull in after the ball right at the very start.
Norwood captain from the centre square. High drop punt. Button and Phillips getting underneath it. Greg Thomas tries to wend his way through. Phillips takes it off him. Runs 15 metres. Aegis. Winter. Spoiling. Michael Aish tapped it to McIntosh. Aegis impeded McIntosh. Winter tackling fierce. Ball up. Half forward flank, Norwood attacking.
Bruce Winter up on the ball up there in that forward line with Ross Aegis. He's obviously going to stand Ross Aegis. Frank Stemper now coming out from the back pocket where he was standing Harris. Button to Keith Thomas. Little Greg Thomas from the back of Phillips. Eckerman to centre wing. Harris coming out. Stemper's just made that decision to leave him. Bradley through the centre. Tim Evans with the run at the ball. Wind holding the ball up slightly, and Tim Evans takes the mark. He's going to kick to the open goal square. Players running to it. Stephen Williams in front. From behind, Ferring. Port Adelaide with a chance. Perhaps it wasn't to be. Ball running over the line and through for the first score of this second semi-final. To Port Adelaide. They're 1 behind, leading Norwood yet to score.
Tom Warhurst to bring it back in for Norwood. McIntosh gives him a lead. Goes long. Winter underneath it. Harris with the spoil. Ferring missed it. Winter, Harris, also Aegis sent a ball up.
The start of the game, Bruce, with Norwood obviously decided that Winter was going to be on Aegis, but obviously he wasn't. He was right up on the centre wing early in the game then.
Harris and Ferring. Harris comfortably after a poor bounce. Winter to Stemper. Cunningham kept the pressure on. Winter round his body. Play on, the umpire says, touched off the boot. Turnbull kicks to nobody in particular. McIntosh tries to snag it. Ebert with one hand. Giles breaks Button's tackle. Button never quite got to him. Granger, Teal from the back with a fist. Ferring in the centre to Jenkins. A wobbly one by Jenkins. Bad bounce, good one for Norwood. Michael Annie. Handball. Michael Aish. Trying to put the pressure on him, Greg Phillips. Greg Thomas tries to get in the road. Michael Aish to Michael Annie. No free kick. And it'll be a ball up.
It's a bad bit of umpiring, Bruce. I know it was unintentional, but he still grabbed the player high. That's definitely not on. It should have been a free kick, not paid. Right in front of the Norwood goal now. Phillips just tapping it down to Nagel. He's unloaded. Another bounce down. Could be a bit scrambly here at times, but that passage of play when Port Adelaide scored their first behind was absolutely terrific as they ran down the wing. Norwood then with a chance. High handball from Michael Aish, not enabling them to get the score. Ball knocked away by Button towards the goal. Phillips back there. Runs it out of bounds and is pushed in the back when he was over the line. No free kick. It'll be out of bounds just around from the behind post for Norwood.
Button and Johnston. Michael Annie also there. Michael Annie might come over the top. Hughes helps out. Giles has handballed very good to Ebert. One bounce. Left foot, Aegis way out in front of Stemper. Stemper and Aegis. Stemper running it towards the boundary line. Aegis with him. Free kick to Stemper.
Now that's the difference. You pick up the free kick. Player falling over, bulked on him and just fell forward when he felt the body. Getting a free kick, it seems that that's to be one of the arts of the game these days.
Button, Phillips from the back. Phillips plays it on quickly to Bradley. High drop punt. Granger getting set with Teal. Free kick to Winter against Granger. Winter in the front spot, Teal coming over the back.
Winter from centre half back from that free kick, pushing it back by Granger. Phillips at his best. Beautiful fly for the ball. It was a 15-metre penalty, should have been given in the first place. Neil Button hanging on as soon as he took the mark, which he had no right to do to stop playing on. Phillips with a long 60-metre. Taken back into defensive action by Jim Till. Jenkins running past. It'll be Jim Till. Decides to kick it to Danny Jenkins. Jenkins loves to break clear on that half-back line. He does so and gets it to half-forward. Russell Johnston making quick ground to Ebert. Ebert nearly kicks into his own man. Bit of luck there as he kicks into Button. And coming across, Andrew Aish on centre wing.
Aish played very well, especially in the second term against Sturt last week. Now, he's got Fairing short, and that's the way he's going to go. Now, Fairing's usually a very long kick. Didn't get onto it. Hughes takes the chance. Greg Thomas over the top. Roberts, one goal. Roberts gets the first. Norwood a goal. Porter behind after 5 minutes.
A very good bit of play. That mark then that was dropped by the fullback Danny Hughes, looking perhaps a little easy, but Jeff Ferring with his kick blasted away at the ball. He obviously thought he could kick it a long way. He went to kick the ball and didn't give the necessary timing, and it speared to Danny Hughes in a very awkward fashion. He was unable to control what was a very difficult mark.
Ferring and Johnston, 6 minutes gone. Ferring won it. Michael Aish went without it. Cahnnel with a screw punt. Hubbard and Schmal. Thumped on by Harris. Winter ducks his head. Miss Fosdyke. Michael Aish. Drop punt to McIntosh. McIntosh has got an eagle running. Goes long. Phillips and Button. Phillips almost. Recovers. Hanging on to Phillips. And the Port Adelaide champion will take a free kick.
Thought the umpire missed the first free, Bruce. I think Neil Button may have pushed him in the first instance. It was only the strength of Greg Phillips that enabled him to stand up, and he goes wide on his left foot to Ebert, taking somewhat of a chance, but it was a successful one. Ebert inaccurately. Andrew Aish to Michael Aish. Michael Aish to Turnbull. Doesn't find the body. Cunningham intercepting. Players going in, regardless of the injury at this stage. And a holding the ball decision played against Ivan Eckerman. Neil Button tackling him, and he chose to keep the ball underneath him. Then at the last second, he realised that no one was going to fall on top of him, and he tapped it out, but it was too late, and the umpire has penalised him for holding the ball.
Button playing in his 233rd league game. 50 metres out. Drop punt, strong kick, straight kick. Norwood 2 goals, 12 points. Port Adelaide 1 behind, and Button gets his first.
Yes, that was well played by Norwood to get it up there. They got the ball in the forward line, and Ivan Eckerman penalised for lying over the ball, and Neil Button, who's a very sure kick from centre half forward, able to capitalise on that occasion. Not Greg Phillips' fault, of course.
Peter Marker.
Yeah, Granger's actually playing in the forward pocket. Harris at centre half forward. Port Adelaide breaking down badly at centre half forward.
Ferring wins it. Ebert tried to tap it out to Belton. Andrew Aish has had a brilliant start to McIntosh. Right footer finds Turnbull, a bit lucky. Turnbull from centre half forward, not quite centre half forward. Michael Annie gives him a lead. He goes towards Neagle. Bad kick by Turnbull, and Johnston takes a comfortable mark. He plays it on to Belton. Left foot. Harris and Winter. Winter takes a great mark, but it's against him, and he'll go to Harris in the front spot for pushing.
Ben Harris now at centre half forward. Bruce Winter having followed him out. Over the half forward line, twisted away by Norwood through Jim Till. Harris knocking it back again. Stemper off hands and out of bounds.
Granger in the pocket. Till going back with him, as Peter said. Winter's picking up Harris for the moment. It's Fairing and Harris. Harris won it. Bradley and Jenkins. Winter's handball to the safety of the line almost. Turnbull just sits it up nicely for Michael Aish. Drop punt by Aish. Looking for Button, with him as Phillips. And it'll be a ball in. Gee, Phillips has started well, Robert.
Phillips played well. He'll do that. Looks like his shoulder is not causing him a great deal of difficulty. Out of bounds between wing and half forward for Norwood. Johnston. Button takes possession behind him. Bodies him out. Roberts is dropping back to take the ball on his body. He's tackled. Ivan Eckerman tackling him. Roberts running to the side, having taken the mark. Eckerman perhaps entitled on that occasion to think that Roberts was going to play on. When he did run to the side, in fact, the umpire would have been quite within his rights to have called played on. But nevertheless, since he had not done so, Roberts will receive a 15-metre penalty for an interference before the umpire called play on.
Roberts has kicked 2. Norwood have got 3 within 10 minutes. Norwood lead 3 goals. Port Adelaide 1 point.
He's definitely playing in the centre now, and his last 10 minutes has been extremely good. He's been a tired player of late, but I think the 2 weeks rest is doing him a great deal of good at the moment.
Baker and Michael Annie. Michael Aish, McIntosh, high drop punt. Greg Thomas and Eckerman. Roberts coming in late. Oh, yes. Not paid. Yes, it is paid. It's a great mark over the top. He looked the only player to hold it. Had the binoculars on him. He was first to touch it. Now, he missed one, Robert, from a bit closer in than this. Almost into time on. Roberts has got 2-1.
Port Adelaide just had 3 shots for goal, whilst Norwood have had 1, and Roberts with the opportunity now to sort of square it up, and he's done it. 24.5 minutes into this first quarter. Norwood are now 5 goals, 1, 31. Leading Port Adelaide 3 goals for 22.
Roberts has got 3 goals. That goal coming out of the centre with McIntosh's left footer. It didn't look like it would get to Roberts, but Roberts, who's virtually playing as a full forward, as Roberts said, came over the top of both Greg Thomas and Eckerman to take the mark.
Jim Michael Annie this time for the knock. He's coming from the side. Baker for Port Adelaide. Knocks it forward. Pushed in the back though. The bounce, not a good bounce. Port Adelaide player going for the knock ahead of Michael Annie, and he just pushed him in the back because he couldn't reach the ball. Port Adelaide play on to Williams. Ebert over half forward. Jenkins dropping in. Takes the mark. Danny Jenkins loves to run away from that half-back line on rebound. He's kicked to the centre of the ground looking for Fosdyke. Doesn't get him. He's kept balanced though. Under pressure from Port Adelaide's Peter Hoffner. Hoffner working hard for the ball. Cahnnel now with a chance. Receives a free kick for a trip.
No, I think the Button coming in high on him. Robert as Cahnnel had fallen over.
Yeah, I just looked at the umpire.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the umpire patted his foot.
Yeah, you're
Ebert, Giles to half forward. It's a bit of a carry on behind the plate. No love lost there between Ray Button and Cahnnel. Ray Button, Neil Button. Into the forward pocket. Norwood getting a favourable bounce to Jenkins. Jenkins on rebound.
Short. He's got Winter and Turnbull. Winter marks it. Now he can go to Keith Thomas. It'll sit for him. Good handball. Thomas uses Turnbull.
It's a fantastic handball.
Turnbull's drop punt. Roberts on a lead. He traps it beautifully. Over to McIntosh. McIntosh misses Button. Bad handball. Free kick will go against Port Adelaide for a free after disposal against McIntosh, and the Big Bear will have another shot within 40 metres.
That is careless play by Port Adelaide. They did it well. Gary McIntosh missing Neil Button's body. Remember Ray Button, as I call, used to play for Cahnnel many years ago.
Number 17, he used to hang up in the air forever.
Terrific mark.
Remember that mark at Albert, and he'll forget that. So Button from 40 metres out. Drop punt. He's got it. And so Norwood's Big Bear gets his second, and they're 6-1 and Port are 3-4 into time on.
Yes, a little bit of careless play there by Port Adelaide. It's noticeable that Neil Button and Kim Cahnnel have no love lost between them. Very competitive, both of them. And after that previous play when Cahnnel got the free kick, he and Button involved in another little get-together on the half-forward line for Norwood.
Michael Annie and Baker. Let's hope they bounce it just a little better to give them a chance. Much better. Michael Annie won it. Michael Aish Terrible. Wanted to do a back screw. He couldn't, of course. There was nobody there to kick it to. Kinnear, a floater. Harris, Winter. Harris almost. Huppets. Bradley with a run of it.
Great
Great pace.
Beautifully done.
Goal to Bradley. That's his second. Magnificent acceleration. He just left Norwood standing and Port Adelaide a 4-4 to 6-1.
You don't see any better than that. Ray Huppets again getting in there after the ball. When he was in trouble and couldn't find the body, elected to knock it long to the space, and in doing so he gave Craig Bradley the opportunity to zip into that area, and Bradley, running into that forward line quickly, kicks yet another goal.
So Michaelani and Baker get set to do it again. Norwood have been winning it out of the centre. Not a good bounce again. Terrible in underneath it, or McIntosh. Ball up. 6-1-4-4. Breeze is strong, but it's favouring the Lake end, but it seems to be blustery to come up at times. Again, a very bad bounce. Thumped forward by Hoffner. Schmal. McIntosh has had a very big turn. Fosdyke. Greg Thomas.
He's got some pace, Bruce, hasn't he? That was never looked like getting that. He got to the half volley.
Got rid of it after Eckerman tackled him brilliantly. Michael Aish, Hoffner caught. Great tackle by McIntosh. Woods willing. Hoffner and McIntosh, two terriers, and Greg Thomas. I didn't even see Greg Thomas, there were so many on top of him. And again, a ball up.
They're certainly going for the ball very strongly, well they might. Grand final on the end of it for the winner. Centre wing. Michaelani just knocked out of bounds by Baker. Be another throw-in. David Baker and Jim Michaelani. Baker in front, knocking it forward and out of bounds again. Just getting himself sorted out. Big ruckman for Port Adelaide, looking for his teammates.
Terrible playing very close at the boundary line, now coming in a bit. Baker staged it. Schmal. Caught.
I don't think he took the ball. He had an area on the pickup, and I think it fooled the Port Adelaide player. Missed the ball. Wayne Schmal, the back pocket player. Fakes the handball, a bit lucky not to be called play on. Kicks to half forward. Button. Nagel. What magnificent reading. Beautifully done, Neil Button. Beautifully done, Richard Nagel. Button with two hands high in the air. Greg Phillips just spoiling it forward on what was a very dead spoil, you might say. Not getting much rebound off the spoil, and Nagel positioning himself in front. Kicks Norwood 7th. There's 7 goals, 1 now, leading Port Adelaide 4-4. Start of the last quarter of the second semi-final for 1982. Norwood leading 15-3, Port Adelaide 10-13. Russell Johnston gets a bounce and knocks it straight to Philip Gallagher. He goes to half forward, Giles knocking it away. McIntosh, who's been shifted to half forward, long to the front of the goals. Michaelani, spoiled from him to Button. Button goes wide to Greg Thomas. He can't take possession. Poor Plecia spoiling away. Duncan Fosdyke in front. The ball goes out of bounds between centre wing and half forward for Norwood. Norwood have kicked accurately all day. Port Adelaide have hung in there even though they've been behind, and they're still in with a chance. Button. Giles knocking it out. Not Giles, Phillips, I'm sorry, knocking out to Johnston. Johnston long to half forward. And Jenkins coming across quickly, can't take the mark. Stephen Williams. Nice bit of evasion. Comes back to the centre. Granger. Lurking Bradley. It's an easy shot for goal for this young man. He decides not to bounce. He thinks he's got the distance under control. And he has, but he hasn't got the accuracy yet again for Port Adelaide. And they move on to 10 goals, 14, trailing Norwood 15 goals, 3.
Bradley's got 2-1 so far today.
There you go through the gate, Stamp.
Winter with a drop punt. Stamper, who went off for a while with a fist away. Fosdyke. Cunningham did that brilliantly. High left foot of Bradley again. Terrible looking around to find out whose man Bradley is. Bad mistake by Norwood there on the half-back flank, and Bradley, who's kicked 2-1, has got the chance to put Port Adelaide within 13 points. 18th kick to Bradley coming up. It's given Port Adelaide great dash. So Bradley's got his third, and Port Adelaide are 11-14 to 15-3.
They're certainly in with a chance now, Port Adelaide. They've come back after this three-quarter time break. full of running, raring to go. Bradley's put another score on the board for them for 11 goals, 14. One goal wonder Bradley this term.
Ferring and Johnston, 2 minutes gone. Port to the lake end. Again, a shocking bounce. Johnston able to take it to Cunningham. High. Evans.
That's an all-out attack on the football, Bruce. Exciting mark. Full of strength and judgment.
3-2 to Evans. Drop punt. Missed it. 3-3 to Evans. 11-15 to 15-3. Apparently there was some confusion about the number of Norwood players on the ground at one stage as Winter brings it back in and Fosdyke plucks it out of the air. Winter play on. Holding the ball. No, not paid. Ferring. Teal. Caught. Now holding the ball.
Very unfortunately had an arm grab. That other particular decision where the player ran from behind the mark, had the umpire called played on before he'd run from behind the mark. He must have, because that's where he came from. But Stephen Williams with an opportunity to score for Port Adelaide. He'll need a good kick, and he's produced it, but not the accuracy. Evans from the back, off hands to Winter, takes the chance as he runs from behind the back goal line. The ball will be brought back to be kicked in by Bruce Winter yet again. Port Adelaide 11-16, Norwood 15-3.
11 points the difference. Evans will bring it back to Winter. Obviously umpires refusing to call the ball back from centre bounces when they can't get it up straight. Drop punt by Winter low. Johnston or Baker, Johnston in the front. Bradley got a high tackle. Jenkins read it well. Stemper. Jenkins, Norwood run it from half back. Bradley will try and run him down. McIntosh held it. Left foot. Aish, Michaelani. Aish marks.
Yeah, ball stopping in the air. Ace plays on quickly. Roberts dropping back, and he's kicked the ball too high. He's allowed Hughes to get back in to recover. It's a bad kick by Michael Ace. Hoffner relieving for Port Adelaide. And out of bounds on the half-back line, Peter Marker.
Well, there was a controversy, or there is a controversy. Norwood have only got 19 players left because Andrew Ace came off the ground, didn't go through the gate, so he can take no further part in the game.
Johnston, Nigel duck. Russell Ebert, drop punt. Jenkins and Williams. Stamper missed it. Free kick to Williams. Now Belton's running for him through the centre. Drop punt, or screw punt it turned out to be. Schmal high. Evans marks it. Gee, Port Adelaide have started well, Robert.
Yes, all Norwood have got to do is kick their head though, Bruce. It's 11 points the difference at the moment. This is an important kick for goal. But every goal the Norwood kick, Port have got to kick more. That's a beautiful kick, Timothy Evans. Under pressure, that one. 12-16 now. 15-3.
Ferring and Johnston. Johnston to Huffetts. Left foot. Warhurst spoils. Teal. Jenkins. Greg Thomas. Marks. Aegis coming in late. Greg Thomas might be playing on a wing, I think, Robert, for the moment. Andrew Aish apparently can't come back. And so Greg Thomas floats a drop punter. Johnston, Button. Phillips just gets in the road, then drops it. Tackled by Gallagher. Belton smothered. Johnston and Keith Thomas. Button, ball up. A kick the difference. We've been playing for 1 hour and 37 minutes, and there's a kick the difference.
Neil Button, Russell Johnston for Port Adelaide. Ferring coming from behind. Greg Thomas can't find the yards to break clear. Russell Ebert. Schmal holding ground. Well judged mark. Brian Cunningham falling over, hoping he'd get a free kick. Schmal to back to centre wing. Button. Huppets off hands. Warhurst ducks his head into the pack. Ball falls out. The umpire will bounce the ball here at centre wing. 7 minutes into the last quarter. Ferring and Johnston. Johnston towards Huppets, intercepted by Warhurst. Huppets Huppets recovers the ball pressure. He can't take it. Turnbull into the ball, strong for the ball, and holds up for Norwood. Both teams urgently going for the possession early in this last quarter.
Port have kicked 2-3 in the first 8 minutes. Norwood haven't scored. They've erased that debt they had at three-quarter time. Ferring to Turnbull. Out of bounds on the full. So things just going for Port at the moment. McIntosh will give it to Paul Pleasure. Eckerman provides some run. A high drop punt. Granger getting underneath it with Tommy Warhurst. Keith Thomas. Drop punt. Michael Asian Giles. Johnston lurking. Giles thumps. For Pleasure. Great play McIntosh. Ball in half forward for Norwood. Roberts playing a lot further away from the goal in this quarter.
He's come out now to have a run. Left Michael Annie back there. Norwood are obviously going to try and keep it on this side of the ground, or they appear to. Johnston laying it off Ebert, just tapping it out. Poor pressure at Gallagher. Beautiful defensive action, Philip Gallagher. Running on the inside of the play and then cutting across it and able to just keep Norwood still in with a chance to go into attack. They've got to get a possession. Ferring. Long hit to nobody except Port Adelaide. There's a feast of players there. Ross Aegis. Granger from the front. Neagles beset upon. Tapped out to Huppets. Bradley dropping back again. He's a dangerous player when he moves into that half-forward line. Craig Bradley.
He's kicked 3 today. Again, Huppets doing something important. This will take Bradley's best, but Bradley often produces his best when Port Adelaide want it. Drop punt. He's hooked it, made the distance, a behind, and so Port at 12-17 and Norwood at 15-3, Peter Marker.
Yes, it'd be good if Port Adelaide had a numbers man on the bench, because just prior to Andrew Ace coming off, and as I said, he didn't come off through the gate, Norwood did in fact have 19 on the field for about the first minute of this last quarter. If Port Adelaide had taken the count then, Norwood would have lost the match.
Baker almost a one-hander. Tom Warhurst, Greg Thomas, all evaded magnificently because he had no one to give it to. Then goes right across the ground to nobody. Bradley and Fosdyke. Bradley's having a big turn to Phillips. Port Adelaide look good. One bounce. Short pass Evans.
Tim Evans from 50 metres. 4 points the difference. Port Adelaide storming home. 29 shots to 18. Norwood can't put a team play together through the centre line. That loose man at half-backs gradually worn them down. And Evans very high and accurately. The ground erupts. We're about a hop, step and a jump from the Port Adelaide district. And they're all here. If they were here quietly before, there's flags everywhere now. As the Magpie hits the lead. 13-17, 15-3 to Norwood.
And so Ferring and Johnston go at it again and Porter in front. Almost 11 minutes gone. Again a shocking bounce straight to Johnston. That's the third time this quarter. Cunningham and Michael Aish. Giles and Neagle. Neagle almost gives it to Gallagher. Neagle, Michael Aish. A high one. Roberts underneath it. Well done, Ivan Eckerman, as he thumps it to the boundary line. Phillips has had 20 kicks. He made up a yard on Michael Annie. Ball in. Phillips and McIntosh. Just a slight altercation.
Now there's an opportunity for Norwood. They can set up their back play. Big Jeff Ferring going into half-back. Johnston and Button. Button trying to get it back to Gallagher. But the ball stalemated yet again. 2 points to difference. 12 minutes into the last quarter. Gallagher's moved into the half-forward line. Button and Johnston. Button laying it back in towards the centre. Picked up by Giles. He goes to kick it. And off the ground, Danny Jenkins, I think it was. No, it wasn't Danny Jenkins. Norwood player trapping off his boot was Greg Turnbull.
Adler getting set to come on. It's Button and Johnston. Button thumps it towards Neagle. Cunningham tries to run him down. Neagle with a little left footer. Eckerman back. Free kick to Neagle against Cunningham.
He wasn't paid for after disposal, but a high tackle on the kick and in the back. Quite correctly. Paul Belton having received a couple of free kicks for a very similar thing. Neagle. Umpire hasn't moved a muscle. Reminiscent of the 1978 Grand Final when Philip Gallagher won with a kick from not quite the same angle. And Richard Neagle has put the Redlegs back in front. 4 points. 16-3, 99. Needing Port Adelaide. 13-17, 95.
Lanny and Baker. Baker almost. Michael H went without it. Michael Lanny and Baker again and a ball up.
Oh, how important those takes are. At the end of the game, Michael H could rue that particular take. Norwood perhaps with their turn to get a run on, and he's fumbled a ball in his hands. Michael Lanny lays it back. Belton to half forward. Jenkins going to get first go at it. Bradley coming in. He bounce favours Bradley. Knocks it out in front of him. Fosdyke after him. And the ball goes out of bounds at half forward for Port Adelaide. Another slight break in the play. Oh, what an exciting first and last quarter we've had here this afternoon. Baker, Gallagher, he's fumbled one, but he recovers. Stemper. But Gallagher's free kick, leg having been grabbed. And Philip Gallagher playing centre for Norwood, relieving.
Drop punt. Johnston setting himself. Keith Thomas waiting down. The handball very good. Gave McIntosh some hope. Free kick to McIntosh.
Played that well. Kept the ball just in front of him. Tony Giles slowing him down.
Drop punt. Roberts. Phillips. Out of play. And so at quarter time, Norwood led 7-1 to 4-4, 11-2 to 7-11 at half time, and 15-3 to 10-13 at three-quarter time, and there's 4 points of difference.
Button takes possession. He's tackled. He nearly took possession, I should have said. Adler. Hughes trying to kick it out of side. Ace recovers, but he can't take it. And Russell Ebert. Then Ace gets up with it. Bad handball. Turble's following. Oops. Turble's over and gets a free kick. He's done his favourite trick at the right moment. Falling forward. And guess who's complaining? Paul Belton. And guess who's got frees for that? In this match so far, none other than Paul Belton.
Might have been a bit lucky not to get 15, and that would have given Turville some hope.
I mentioned yesterday at the football, Bruce, to you, you can throw the ball back to the player in the full and knocks his teeth out. Apparently you're allowed to do it. Greg Turville to the goal mouth. Russell Johnston. Neil Button. 15 metres against him. Johnston plays on to Hoffner. Turville in a run. Belton bodies him off. Cunningham kicking it forward. Well played, Brian Cunningham. But unfortunately couldn't keep the ball in play, or perhaps should I say fortunately, because Jim Michaelani was on his own anyway, and this out of bounds will at least slow it up and give the Port Adelaide defence an opportunity.
Michaelani short to Fosdyke. Now Fosdyke's got some space, he fell over, now he balances, drop punt towards the goal square. Button, Hughes, Button high, Roberts, missed. Roberts has kicked a number of goals this year for Norwood. If Neil Barn could have had any, he would have loved one then. 16-4 to 13-17. 100 to 95. And Danny Hughes will screw punt the ball to the centre of the ground. Just getting ready. Gallagher takes the mark.
Oh, he's cool. No panic on that take. He's given it to Ace too. That's a free kick. Both players spoiling. But Button's given Keith Thomas the play. And he's kicked the goal.
And so Keith Thomas has got 2, and the Redlegs sneak away. 17-4, 106 to 13-7, 95. Michael H hurt, but Gallagher was the winner. He just stood his ground. He saw the ball coming, and his kick to Ace was a beauty. Ace didn't get the free kick, but Keithy Thomas ran in and made a certainty of it. And Norwood with Andrew Ace unable to come back, and Michael Ace hobbling after 17 minutes of the last quarter in what's been a fantastic game, are leading by 9 points.
Philip Gallagher at the centre, hands on hips, waiting for Jim Michaelani to lay it across. Craig Bradley, Ross Aegis, Ben Harris. Oh, that's sudden death. Most unfortunate. Frank Stemper gets a free kick for holding the ball.
Gee, the next goal is important, Robert. I know there's only 2 kicks in it, but if Norwood get the next one, 18 minutes gone, they're in with a big chance.
Michael Annie. He'll be loose here because the Port Adelaide ruckman running into centre half back. And Norwood now starting to get the ascendancy into their attack. Ball off hands. Greg Thomas. McIntosh, he gets it onto his right leg towards Michael Ace. He wants a favourable bounce. He doesn't get it. Ross Aegis falls over. Picked up there by Hughes. Hughes to Johnston. Off hands. Bradley reading it well. Tom Moorhurst. Well done, big fellow. Noddy, well played. Safe play all the way. Didn't take the chance of running over the ball. Just played it to the boundary line.
Michael Annie and Harris and Baker. Warhurst behind the pack. Baker the front spot. Michael Annie over the back. Stephen Williams quickly to Ebert. Ebert's kick around his body. Brian Cunningham.
Young just made a mistake, Bruce. He went for a boundary throw in then when he should have stayed down, I think, on Russell Ebert. He got trapped into going for the throw in. And Ebert picked up the ball. And now Port with another chance.
Ebert's had 20 kicks. Cunningham's kicked 2. Drop punt by Cunningham's gone straight. A goal. And so Port are within a kick. 14-17 to 17-4, and Cunningham's kicked 3 without a miss. And we're 19 minutes in.
Yes, very rarely you see Philip Gallagher getting excited like that. That boundary throw in, he thought he'd come from behind. Instead of holding his ground, Russell Ebert patiently waiting. Took full advantage when it came his way. And Brian Cunningham's kick, excellent.
Michael Annie and Johnston. Special efforts required now. Johnston to Bradley. What a game he's played and what a last quarter. Granger spoiled by Teal. Stemper. Teal gave it to Jenkins. Jenkins to Fosdyke. Now Fosdyke can run. Left foot. Roberts on a lead. Hoffner. Roberts pushed him out of the way. Eckerman. Not a good handball. Roberts fell over. With him Phillips. Holding the ball. Peter Marker.
Yeah, Norwood have got trouble with their big man. Buttons at full forward now, ferrying off the ground. All the work's being left to Michael Annie. It might be too much for him. 10 minutes to go.
Free kick to Michael Annie. Brought back. Might have been a bit lucky it was brought back. Michael Annie to full forward. Button in front. Spoiled away by Phillips. McIntosh off hands on his natural foot. Can't take possession. Trying to break through. They're still hanging on to him. Paul Preacher falls over. Neagle with an opportunity. Into the square. Aish in front. Spoiled away by Hughes. Button. Aish unloaded. Thomas falls on top of it. He's holding ball. He's not holding the ball. The umpire's going to bounce it. Port Adelaide players showing great discretion there. Just picked him up. But he wasn't penalised.
Norwood a bit lucky there. Greg Thomas flabbergasted, didn't know what to do. Button laid it down towards Neagle. The Bear tries to break through. Adler, a little kick. Greg Thomas has got some toe. Hubbard's is after him. A quick kick by Greg Thomas. Roberts has marked it.
See, that was a magnificent bit of play by Thomas. Running out there into that pocket. Then getting the ball around his body and actually pulling it back into a scoring area. And Neville Roberts, with a fly at the ball from behind, takes a very well judged mark. Will the kick be as well judged? 21 minutes, 15 seconds in the last quarter.
He's kicked over 80 goals this year, Neville Roberts. He's 20 metres out. The Port fans willing to miss. The Norwood fans hold their hands and hope. And Rocky's got 6. And the Redlegs are 18-4 and the Magpies are 14-17. And we've been playing almost 22 minutes. We said what a game, but we really mean it this time. Johnston won it. Cunningham tried to. Gallagher again. To Schmal. To Gallagher.
Well, the little Norwood champ.
To Greg Thomas who can run. Oh, that's danger. McIntosh. Porplesia did very well. Turnbull. Also there, Giles. Giles fell over in exhaustion. McIntosh is there, and it'll be a ball in. Philip Gallagher, the big winner. That little chip pass. 18-4, 22 shots to 31. Button from the back. McIntosh, oh gee,
That's bad luck. Port Adelaide player went to hit the ball and
For
McIntosh went in quickly and just ran into the arm.
Andy Portfleischer, a very fair player, and he was going for the ball. McIntosh also going for the ball.
McIntosh just went for it strongly enough to get his hands on it.
John Cahnnel is leaving the grandstand and going down towards the oval as McIntosh with a drop punt. Roberts setting himself. He's going to be paid it.
Roberts and Fosdyke both up there.
I reckon Fosdyke touched it first, but we'll never know. We might know on a replay. Would you back him from here, Robert?
I tell you what, with his kick, I'd back him 99 times out of 100. But I tell you what, when the pressure gets harder and harder, I reckon those goals look about half inch apart, Bruce.
And he's kicked 6-3 today, Roberts. It's 23 and a half minutes gone. Roberts is 30 metres out.
Right-hand post.
Norwood are 11 points in front.
Just running in with the leg. That's all he's got to do. But can he do it? He's the best kick in the business. He's done it. It's too good. The kick straightened out on him. Decide to miss if you're going to miss. The kick straightened back. Rocky Roberts with a behind.
6-3, but it's an important point in the fact that Norwood are 12 points in front. A goal would have been more important. Hughes bangs it to the centre. Adler's there and he takes the mark.
Oh, well played, that player behind Danny Jenkins. John Cahnnel just coming onto the ground as Paul Adler kicks to the pocket ahead of Roberts. If it goes out of bounds, it'll be handy for Port Adelaide. And Danny Hughes just runs it over the boundary line. And Norwood able to set themselves up across the centre in case of a Port Adelaide rebound. Button and Johnston. Button to the back of the pack. Beautiful take by Belton, but he can't get the handball away. Battling for it. Fosdyke. He's got his hands on the ball and he's tackled, but the umpire says no opportunity to get rid of it, so he will bounce it in the forward pocket.
The winner goes into the grand final on October the 2nd. The loser plays against Cahnnel next Sunday in the preliminary final. In a second semi-final, worthy of a grand final, Johnston tries to get rid of it. Cunningham caught, throws it away. McIntosh, Cunningham to the boundary line. And we're into the time-on period, and Port Adelaide have got to kick 2 goals won or 3 goals to win.
I think Port Adelaide have run their race, Bruce. I think their run has stopped. If Norwood can bottle it up here for another score, that's beautifully done by Phillips as he knocks it to Portfleischer. Gallagher going back, and he's interfered with. Oh, he's too good. Put the body in, held it underneath the ball, and Russell Ebert, unfortunately, with eyes on the ball, crashed through him, and Philip Gallagher will take a free kick at half forward. Oh, what a pinch hitter to have on the boundary line as your reserve.
Peter Marker.
Well, there's a lot of tension here because it may well be that if Norwood win, they could still lose the match on that, having 19 men on the field.
Well, I think they'll win it, Peter, because the Big Bear's just taken a mark after Gallagher set it up. And Button's got the chance to put Norwood 3 goals in front. And I doubt whether even Port Adelaide can come back from there. Because we're 26 minutes in. And Button from 30 metres out has kicked 3 goals today. Drop punt. And Norwood look good. Button's got 4. And it's 19-5 to 14-17. And if Port Adelaide are to go into the grand final via this game, then they may have to do it on the protest.
Yes, very interesting how that can happen. Player not coming off the ground correctly at 3/4 time. Interchange, person not being informed. Back to the centre, 26-40 into the quarter. Russell John, no it's not, it's Baker and Michael Annie. Neagle, Keith Thomas, Michael Annie, McIntosh. Able to call all the Norwood players first then. They're certainly getting at the ball now. Port Adelaide have just lost that ascendancy. If Norwood did have 19 on the ground, it must have helped Port Adelaide because in the time that they were there, Port Adelaide absolutely killed Norwood.
Cunningham, Greg Thomas, to Stemper. Little one round his body. Michael H. It wouldn't sit. Giles, he's exhausted. Aish cleverly to Turville. And after 27 and a half minutes, Norwood are home. They're 19-5 to 14-17. And it'll be Port against the Bays next Sunday. Button, Michael Aish, Eckerman's tackle good. Adler to Turville. Hughes tries to run him down. Phillips is tired. So's Hughes. Handball to Portfleischer. Portlesia to Baker. Baker's kick almost smothered. Giles is gone. Thomas's tackle good. Eckerman to Portlesia and Button runs him out of bounds. 119 to 101. 28 minutes gone. Button lifts himself and he goes in against Baker.
Portlesia to centre wing. Harris from the front. Stemper away to Belton. Belton across the ground. There's 4-5 Norwood players to Bradley. He's got the kick away, but they're there. Here comes Jenkins. If it gets near him, Smiles is blocking for him, and he goes to Fosdyke. Fosdyke coming in strongly now towards Roberts. Hughes across the front. Too high. Danny Hughes from half-back. Peter Hoffner. Teal spoiling away from Granger. Tom Warhurst, who's read the ball beautifully on a couple of occasions this quarter. Goes short and accurately to Michael Aish. Michael Aish from centre wing. Greg Turnbull. Turnbull's going to have a look back, and he goes for the short circuit play to Button. Should have gone to the square. It was two players of Port Adelaide there. And Turnbull showing his experience and his coolness. The will to win, the ability to do the right thing at the right time. And Neil Button, Norwood leading by 18 points to play in the grand final. Oh, it's a safe kick. Not high enough. He's a bit tight. I thought it was a good placement. It's gone off his boot. And through for a behind to Norwood. They're 19 goals 6.
4-1 to Button. Hughes to Cunningham. The Port captain takes the ball on the half-back flank. 120 to 101. Portlesia running for him. Neagle after him. Out of bounds. And so Norwood at home. It's the Bays and the Magpies at Football Park in the preliminary final. And the winner's got to butter up against the Redlegs. Michael Annie's done a job and a half. McIntosh tries to break Belton's tackle. Belton across towards Portlesia. The siren sounds. And Neil Barnes Redlegs win 19-6-120 to John Cahill's Port Adelaide's 14-17, 101 in the second semi-final at Football Park.
And a very big crowd of 37,276 watched a great game. 19-6-120 to 14-17, 101. Norwood kicked so accurately in the first half. Roberts got 6, Button 4, Turnbull 2, Neagle 2 and Keith Thomas 2. And for Port Adelaide, Tim Evans got 5, Brian Cunningham 3 and Craig Bradley also with 3 goals. In the reserves today, Cahnnel staged a great comeback to defeat West Adelaide. They trailed by 4 goals, 3 at one stage in the